Welcome back. We go back to our security matter. We're now being joined on the news at 10 by retired General Esekaibe to look at the fallout of the unfortunate incident leading to the death of 3 police officers and the need for better interagency cooperation. Thank you very much for joining us on the news at 10, General Esekaibe.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so in the last 24 hours, the Nigeria police has already released 3 press statements and series of messages on social media expressing their displeasure in the manner in which those officers were killed. The army has also released its own side of the story. Do you think that this incident could have been avoided?
Yes, it would have been avoided. Like you rightly put it, there is need to properly promote interagency cooperation. Interagency cooperation ensures trust, ensures confidence in operation, and ensures that everybody that is involved in operations are better briefed and assessed of the matter. For instance, if you are going for a covert operation, I do not see any reason why you will not tell your sister agencies that, yes, you may not give the details. I'm going to have a covert operation here for a similar purpose. 2, there need to be strict rules of engagement. 3, I think the police, who are the lead agency in internal security operations, should be well equipped for them to do their job so that the military can go to the backstage and do the defense of the territorial integrity of this country. So the military is overstretched. They are doing the work of the police, who are the lead agency in international security. So there are bound to be these conflicts here and there. But be that as it may, what you call for is a proper interagency cooperation to erase mistrust, to build confidence, and to ensure that things are done properly along with best practices.
All right, but if you call it a covered operation and you talked about giving details, how much detail should have been given between the police officers and the soldiers? What do you think should have been done right to avoid a situation like this?
You know, there are so many sides of the story right now, and the good thing is that the president has directed the defense headquarters to set up, an investigation team to actually unravel the circumstances that led to that unfortunate incidents. So I don't want to believe on hearsay because there are, conflicts of reporting already. So we need to actually identify what actually happened. I'm sure this investigation team will give us a rider so that we'll be able to know what went wrong and what should be done rightly in the next similar incident.
I already know
for covert operation or any operation for that matter.
Now, the president has ordered an investigation into the killing of these officers, but the police say the army has a lot of answers to questions to answer. Now, one of which is the whereabouts of the suspect that is actually in the middle of all this crisis, Bala Wadume. Don't you think the death of these officers has overshadowed the whereabouts of the suspect?
Well, in a confused situation like this, there are certain things you will want to find out. The officers, these gallant officers who lost their lives, I do not know the code of conduct operation that were given to them. I still think there's a missing link somewhere. If you are, and they came from Abuja, as I was told. If you leave Abuja to go to Taraba to conduct an operation, there is need for, that's called need to know. There are people, there are sister agencies that need to know what you are doing. And they are going to be carried along with what you are doing. But when we miss some of these things, you see, there are bound to be tension, there are bound to be, passions are inflamed already. So that is why we must all be very, very cautious and allow this investigation panel to come out and unravel the true circumstances of the situation that happened there. This is not the time for, passions to flare. This is not the time for anybody to, unilaterally give an impression to what happened. I think that is the reason why this panel is set up. But the unfortunate thing is that lives have been lost and lives matter. So we have to do the right thing and make sure this kind of ugly incidents will not repeat itself again.
Thank you very much, Retired General Cecile Esekaibe. Thank you very much for your time on the News at 10.
Thank you for having me.
To other stories now, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG, through its global charity arm, The Love Foundation has inaugurated another intensive care unit at the Redeemers Health Center Redemption Camp in Ogun State. The project is the third in a series of ultra-modern health projects geared towards developing the health sector in Nigeria.
This is the latest facility to be inaugurated at the Redeemers Healthcare Redemption Camp in Ogun State. The governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, is here to declare the facility open. Shortly after the governor's arrival, the general overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, arrives at the venue in the company of his wife, Pastor Folu Adeboye.
Praise the name of the Lord.
In his speech, Governor Dapo Abiodun thanked the leadership of the church as he asked other religious and corporate bodies to emulate the gesture.
One cannot underestimate the value of this health facility in saving lives in cases of emergencies arising from accidents along this road. On behalf of the people and government of Ogun State, I express my deepest appreciation to Baba Adeboye and the management of RCCG for their benevolence.
It's now time to unveil the facility. Everyone makes their way in to see what it looks like.
This is V-rod infusion and syringe pumps. This ensures that the drugs are delivered accurately.
Every piece of it is blessed in Jesus' name. Amen.
The church reiterates its commitment to ensuring that quality medical service is accessible to all.
Most people go abroad for medical treatment. And the fact that we just need to partner with our state governments, to make sure that healthcare delivery system in Nigeria is top-notch. Those are the things that motivated us.
The Enoch and Folu Adeboye Intensive Care Unit is equipped with a 3-bed fully equipped intensive care unit, 2-bed highly dependent care unit, a mobile digital X-ray unit, an operating theatre, an oxygen generator, 2 executive fully equipped suites, 2 private wards, amongst other facilities.
For some business stories, let's join Bisi Adebayo to take us through them.
You first. First Bank.
Welcome to Business News. Nigeria's 8.91 trillion naira budget for the 2019 fiscal year may be under threat as the price of Bonny Light, the nation's premium oil grade, slides further from $60.86 to $57.21 per barrel. At the same time, the price of international oil price benchmark Brent fell to a 7-month low of around $57.28, below Nigeria's current budget benchmark. Analysts attribute the decline to several factors, including excess supply, dwindling demand, supply escalating trade war between the U.S. and China, as well as fears of economic recession arising from an increasing wave in interest rate cuts around the world. The federal government had based the 2019 budget on $60 per barrel and 2.3 million barrels per day this year. Now, despite its huge potential to create employment opportunities in the youth population, the growth of micro, small and medium enterprises in Nigeria is still believed to be largely plagued by several factors, with limited access to credit as one of the setbacks. As part of efforts to bridge this gap, Fidelity Bank PLC has been helping small-scale industrialists to access capital through its annual Regional SME Funding Connect. The 15th edition of the conference was held in Lagos.
A long queue of small-scale entrepreneurs registering their presence at the Fidelity Bank SME Funding Connect. The management of Fidelity Bank, funding partners, as well as hundreds of SME operators are here to bridge the gap between SME and funding.
One of the biggest rice mills in this country today, in Kano, owes its success to Fidelity Bank. You can tell by the number of microphones.
The Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Bafemi Hamzat, comes with a goodwill message.
SMEs that tend to export their product do better than those that are actually serving the local economy. So Fidelity Bank, I think part of the screening should then be which are these SMEs that will ultimately export.
Breakout sessions further deepened conversations around SME funding in Nigeria. Funders and successful entrepreneurs share their experiences and skills that aid the growth of small businesses.
But I think there's a multitude of reasons and factors as to failure. And I think one of the biggest areas of failure is not meeting market needs.
On the sidelines of the event, the management of Fidelity Bank speak on the benefit for participants beyond the conference.
We're going to study all these business ideas that have been generated because there are so many participants in this. And then, we pick them one by one and encourage them and give them access to the funding based on what they plan to do.
Beyond money, the process that these people have gone through, I tell you, they are business ready. In fact, we have private equity firms already approaching us. They want access to the database of these people who have put through this program.
Out of 2,500 applicants who applied for the grant competition, 5 finalists emerged to battle for the top prize by presenting their business propositions before a panel of judges.
My son has gone from being non-auditory to being one of the best classes.
Yetunde Ayo Oyalowo, a medical doctor whose business idea focuses on medical outreach and retail clinic, gets the first prize of 2 million naira and 1 million naira each for the first and second runners-up. 9 others also received cash consolation prizes.
Let's head to Nigeria's equities market now, which closed today on a positive note thanks to a rally in the share price of MTN Nigeria, which pushed the main index up marginally by 0.05%. Here's Teniola Shobowale with more details.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. A rally in the share price of MTN Nigeria pushed the stock market's main index back into the green as the telecoms giant reports a 10% rise in half-year earnings. This comes as the NSE's second most valuable stock gets added to the Morgan Stanley Frontiers Market Index, the first of its kind for any local listed equity. Those positive reports lifted the company's share price by 3.27%, while a 0.34% rebound by the industrial goods sector contributed to 6 billion naira recovered from Wednesday's 56 billion naira loss. However, the price chart ended with a negative margin of 9 gainers, led by an increase in the shares of against 23 losers, led by 10% loss from Guinness, NACO and United Capital. Meanwhile, FBN Holdings is the highest contributor to nearly 280 million shares traded today, with nearly 59 million units. And that's the Stock Market Report. I'm Teniola Shobowale.
Thank you, Tenny. And globally, stocks erased most of the steep losses from earlier in the week as global bond yields rebounded, while investors digested better than expected trade data out of China. Let's see the numbers. And that's it on Business News. IMBC Adebayo.
You First. First Bank.
Thank you, BC. When the news at 10 returns, U.S. immigration officials released 300 people arrested in massive raids in Mississippi. That and more from the international scene and around the world in 5. Join us again.